people across the United States have lost 77% of their game birds in most areas, and they're struggling to try to turn that around. And we've been able to prove by maintaining control of the predators inside a given area that you can deal with that and have a huge increase in bird numbers. Inside the 650 acres, I'm confident we have 65 coveys of quail and probably about 500 pheasant. And a high percentage of those were hatched in this area this year. Last year we only had, well, we had 0 birds in this area. So we went from 0 birds to 65 covey. The formula that I came up with was, one, to be able to control an area from the factors that have an impact on our game birds, which would be predators. Predators being 2 types. You have your adult bird predators, bobcats, and then your nest and chick predators, raccoons, possums, armadillos, and such, and snakes. So when we put the fence around it, that gave us control, and that gave us the ability to be able to deal with all the factors inside that area. And the next thing we needed for this property to make sure we had maximum number of birds is we went in and planted 141,000 plum trees over, basically we had 6 rows of plum bushes that if you put them end to end would be 10 miles worth of hedgerows. We came in and we put in a year-round food source with ragweed and croton, because it does provide not only nutrients in the really difficult months in February and March in this area, but it also provides excellent bugging habitat. We also needed certain type of cover so the birds can get, around and throughout their area without having to be affected by the avian predators. So we planted sorghums and corn. The fence is approximately 4 feet tall. It has 2-inch mesh all the way around it. At the very bottom, laid on the ground, there's another piece of fence that is laid flat. So when a raccoon, say, gets up to the edge of the fence and they try to dig, they're basically trying to dig through another fence. The next thing we did was we put a hot wire, got me, just a few inches off the bottom. So if something did try to come to that, they're going to hit that hot wire and they're going to back up and not attempt to dig at all. And the next thing we did was we put a hot wire towards the top, so if something does jump up on the fence and tries to crawl up and go over the top, they're going to get shot. So we've been able to keep out predators extremely well. Once we did the planting, the sorghum, the ragweed, the croton, then we came in and we used this surrogate propagation system, and we've got 8 of these in this area right now, and we put day-old chicks in there and we leave them in for 5 weeks, and then we release them into the area. Well, what that does is it imprints them to this spot. Somebody that may have 1,000 acres may want to put a 250-acre management area just like this in the center of his property. And then the birds will actually survive and hatch, and then they can move out. And then they will come back that spring for reproduction back inside that management area. So any bird that, it's like the salmon almost, if they're successful in an area, the parents will come back to that area for reproduction year after year after year. And if you can control the predators, then you can control the nest survival rate in any given area.